after a scintillating season-ending win. Thomas Brown at Green Bay against the Packers. Hey, reflect on how it went down, what the meaning of the win is for the team, and what did it mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's great for the players, man. I just wanted to make sure they try to have a chance to end on a high note after a rough season. As we didn't expect in many ways. The amount of change we kind of went through, all of us, myself included, but just have an opportunity to take over 5 weeks ago and try to establish a culture, change the culture, which is unrealistic for 5 weeks. But I have unrealistic thought process when it comes to attacking issues and addressing stuff. And so I was happy to see those guys celebrate a win in dramatic fashion. The game wasn't always pretty, but it doesn't really matter when it comes down to winning and losing football team. I think for the first time in a few weeks, we played a collective football in all three phases, fed off each other. Obviously, defense did a great job creating turnovers. We obviously were able to capitalize off of one of those. Special teams with a great dramatic, play. But even at the end of the game, right? So we turned the ball over in 4 minutes. Defense makes a great stop, force a field goal, but there's the belief on the sideline when we got the ball back is we're going to still win the game. And so the way it ended, I thought was beautiful compared to the first game, almost in the exact same spot on the same hash. And Cairo hit a dagger to end it. So that was an awesome feeling for those guys. Obviously, great. I enjoy winning. I hate losing, but I definitely enjoy winning. So definitely celebrate those guys in the locker room and tell them how much I appreciate them. And we'll have an opportunity to keep it moving forward. I told those guys the night before, it's the last time this team will be together. That's the same every single year with every single team. Whenever your last, game is done, they're always going to be constant change in this league. So it's great to be at the end on a high note.
The word that just keeps popping up for me, and it exemplifies just what was put into this process, coaches and players, was resolve for
Oh yeah,
for that win. Would that be appropriate?
100%. Like you said, from start to finish, things weren't always great, and have an opportunity to try to overcome and maximize opportunities is always great to be able to see the resilience of your football team and some of the stuff you talk about from a messaging standpoint come to life. But though a team has been through a whole lot, a staff going through a whole lot, it's great to be able to see them continue to keep fighting, never lose faith, and find a way to come out victorious.
What's this morning been like for you?
It's been really good. Obviously, it's a lot better coming to the building after a win than a loss. I guarantee you that, especially having 10 in a row. But I think having an opportunity to meet with every guy, which I haven't finished that today, but a number of guys this morning to still continue to give honest, direct feedback as far as how the season went for them personally, but also overall. And obviously address about, moving forward, whether they'll be here or not, whether I'm going to be here or not. Still just talking about how to change the mentality, change the culture, and what's expected of all of us to be at our best every single day. And being able to understand how to establish a mentality from the very beginning that carries over into the season. So it's been good to see the guys. I mean, the guys are in good spirits, and being able to kind of have one-on-one dialogues with those guys throughout the day.
Yeah, it's a different kind of end of season for sure. Just like you said, no one knows what's going to happen.
Right.
But one thing that I've always learned all these years, from scouts to coaches to front office, like the job is still the job until it's completely taken off of your plate. So you just got to go through the process, right? The end of season process of giving the guys a little insight into their futures, whether it'll help them or not, or if they're going to be here or not. It's really interesting because I don't think any other business is like that.
It's not. Most times, from a business standpoint, if you're about to get let go or if it's over, it's over immediately.
Right.
And there's not much uncertainty in the air. But our profession is different for a number of different reasons. But that to me is really irrelevant. I'm gonna maximize every day that I have. And I talk about the guys of being able to live with no regrets. There's stuff I can always try to find ways to correct and be better at and be critical, which I'm always more critical on myself than anybody ever will be on me. But regrets, I don't do because I'm gonna shoot my shot, be at my best, and let the chips fall where they may. And I do kind of take pride in having that mentality. But I think also being able to give feedback to these guys is important because I do care about them. I want them to be the best whether I'm here or not. Not just in the game of football, but more importantly when it comes to life, like how they conduct themselves outside the building, and also learning from these lessons that can carry over to how they deal with their spouses, how they deal with their children, how they deal with this regular adversity in life that, for the most part, will probably end up being bigger than the adversity of losing the football game, which is it's a big deal. I get it, but it's more important things in life when it comes to 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
This is an off the wall question. Do you play basketball?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
I was too violent of a basketball player. Now I played
Okay.
pickup basketball, but it was the brand of basketball I played was probably more street ball than it was
The
than
the reason I
than
ask
basketball.
the reason I ask is when you say you shoot your shot, I was
Oh
thinking,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
this guy had to be a point guard, and he's going to take his shot. So you're going to take your shot. You're going to interview for this head coaching job. So
There's no question.
pretend you're a basketball player with a ball in your hands and the clock's winding down, and you're going to shoot your shot. I'm not going to ask you what you're going to say or what, but do you have some surprises for Ryan Poles that maybe he hasn't seen in these last 5 weeks or in this 16, 17 game season from a Thomas Brown that you're going to shoot your shot?
Yeah, I think from the standpoint of my plan for the vision for the future, they haven't heard that. We haven't really discussed it. We haven't had time to talk about that because we're worried about it right now.
Yeah.
We've had some ongoing dialogues about the roster in some capacity, but I'll have a very detailed plan as far as how I see that moving forward, what needs to be changed in my mind, but also from a schematic standpoint when we talk about offensively, because that is one thing that has not shown itself yet, either this year or last year, because it's not my offenses. So
Yeah.
being able to understand the difficulty, which I don't think people really realize until they have to actually do it, to take over and learn somebody else's verbiage, how the plays are designed. You can't just snap your fingers and change all of it, particularly dealing with a rookie quarterback. That's just not how it works. And so the vision I have as far as offensively, how to lay that in place, obviously the development of the quarterback, but more importantly, the entire football team, how to lead those guys in the right direction. I think one positive thing is you've been able to just see, you can watch how I've led through probably the most difficult scenario you're going to be in as a head coach. Not saying you won't have a season that might be 5-12, but it's not the foundation that I set in place. And so just being able to see me step in front of the team day in and day out, week in and week out, and deliver consistent messages in an adverse scenario, to me is more impressive than talking about what you've done after winning consecutive games and a winning culture. I think you find the true test of people when they go through adversity, not when things are all things are peachy.
How would you describe the first season of Caleb Williams? He described it as a learning experience, but if you could drill a little deeper, how would you describe it?
Yeah, man, I was definitely since a learning experience. I think it's a season of missed opportunities, and part is on us and how we set the foundation. When I say us, I mean as coaches. But I think the understanding for him has been a great growing and learning experience when it comes to how to prepare for the game, what it takes to be at his best, and also the difficulty of coming from the college world and having success in certain ways and what it takes at this level. And so it'd be great for him in the future is how he builds, but also just the lesson as far as what I've talked about with him off the field of who you surround yourself with, and not surrounding yourself with just a bunch of yes men that just tell you whatever you want to hear and accept whatever behavior you put out there. Those guys don't really actually care about you if they allow you to have destructive habits and not correct them. But I think it's obviously impressive from a number standpoint. Has some miraculous plays almost every single game, last game included. I think it's also kind of goes unnoticed about how many impressive 2 minute drives he's had in the half, in the game, which is, again, I said it before, that's not normal, especially for a rookie quarterback. And it's impressive to see how much poison and composure he has at that moment when he has an opportunity to bring some stuff to life. Some stuff to get cleaned up as far as the overall command of how you use the snap count, the cadence, the motion timing as a weapon will continue to grow. And also going to be brand new for him next year. Whether I'm here or somebody else is here, it's going to be a new offense. And so the understanding of how to start in the offseason the right way from a foundational piece standpoint, but master the details first before worrying about the big picture. But the future is bright. I'm super proud of the dude and how he finished, even though it wasn't perfect in a lot of ways. But when it mattered the most, he still found ways to go deliver.
Well, Thomas, we'll let you go. I know you got a lot on your plate here this morning. We wish you nothing but the best and good luck in your opportunity
Awesome.
To secure the head coaching job, and at least you have already auditioned for it.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna sit at a table across from a process. So good luck with that. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
everything. You've been a joy, and best to you and your family.
Pleasure been mine, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Thomas.